Sorry? Now? The scary part is that I actually think they sell them like for real. Like it wasn't in the costume section. How are you? Great, welcome. Well, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Gomez.
Yes, Shabbat Shalom. So not only is it Shabbat, but it is also our Purim celebration. So of course, everything is turned upside down and on its head and just all sorts of fun. So we'll have a little bit of a Purim spiel a little later on in our service. And we'll begin by inviting my radiant wife and darling little daughter forward to light the candles.
But you've got to speak French.
Enchanté, mademoiselle.
First, read this one. You have to read. It's in English.
It's English, you can handle it.
Okay.
You can even handle the Hebrew, I know.
Just these two. Okay. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own way, be among those who kindle light. Ready? Remember how this goes?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu mitzvotav
Tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. We'll turn together to page 10 as we join in Hine Matov, how great it is to be together.
Yeah. So we're doing the tunes a little differently tonight in honor of Purim. So as you figure out what the tune is, please sing along. No, not that one.
Not that one.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. We'll just leave it there.
All right. And we turn together to page 20 as we join in Lecha Dodi.
This one is traditional. La la lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmianu Elam Yochad Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad L'Shemo Tiferet V'Liti La 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 Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Panei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Panei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki mekor haberacha. Merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof maaseh b'machshava tchila la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam simcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, la la lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei shabbat nekabela.
And please be seated as we continue. Shalom Aleichem, page 24.
This one's also traditional. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We rise together as we turn to page 28 and we join in Baruch saying to God and to each other that we're ready to pray.
How many people here have seen the Disney movie Pinocchio? Have you seen it? You don't know? That's okay. Okay. Baruch hu et Adonai ha-mevorach. Baruch Adonai leolam vaed.
Please be seated as we continue with Ma'ariv Aravim on page 30. One moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kitzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים. Page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. There's a ringing. Hold on. And the more do we devote ourselves to it, that's better, right? Yeah, okay. The more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. As we rise together for Shema.
And who here has seen Frozen? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Vaed.
And we are seated as we continue with Va'ahavta, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavcha vishinantam levanecha v'nimarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech u'shachbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beineinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai V'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lehiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
And on page 40, we join in our Song of Freedom. Now, this was a song that we sang when we reached the freedom after Egyptian slavery. And tonight, of course, we celebrate another freedom, a freedom having escaped the evil plot of Haman.
Boo! And this tune is from Mulan. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, ni chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot leolam va'ed, nora tehilot leolam va'ed.
Page 43. Let's join together at the very top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, Haporeh Sukkot Shalom Aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 45. We are a people in whom the past endures. After all, what other people commemorate? That we know that the Passover experience happened on the 14th day of the month of Nisan. And we know that the experience of Purim happens. And all of the different holidays happen in their time and their space. And it is inconceivable that we are who we are without the moments that have gone by. The Exodus, which was a powerful moment that we celebrate through the Passover experience, was a moment that endures forever. And what happened once upon a time happens all the time. And we are so thankful for the opportunities that we have to celebrate and join together in Shabbat. And so we join in Vishamru with special emphasis on some wooing as we thank God for the blessings and the joy of Shabbat.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, ledorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, ledorotam berit olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz, ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, ledorotam berit olam. The wooing is louder than the singing.
What can you do about it?
Really?
I'm here all week, folks.
Right.
We rise together for Amidah, page 46. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips, that our mouths may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevig Ula Livnei V'neihem, L'Ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav Hoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bagevurot, Umidom elach, Melech mimit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, kadoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. Page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. Together, may all who struggle on this find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. Retzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amcha Yisrael. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you. In this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai,
שאותך לבדך ביראה נעבוד.
Modim anachnu lach, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul or light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. And together we join in our prayer for peace at the top of page 61. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lecha Shalom V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol it u'b'chol asha mishlomecha Baruch atah Adonai Oseh Shalom. We take a few moments for silent prayer. Say shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael We turn together to page 253. We think of all those in our lives who need a blessing of healing, healing of body or soul or mind or heart. And in our congregation, we especially call to mind Ross McCullough, Marsha Koblitz, Eric Shabeta, Doug Botner, Louis Tenenbaum, Melanie Wood, Corinne Egan, Darlene Sharp, John Myers, Robert Unger, Jordan Kozwetzky, Michael Kroner, Carol Ford, Elliot Goldman, Alan Zimmer, Vera Shervetsky, Berko Shervetsky, Manny Lowe, Sheila Ranas, Bruce McEwen, MM and RM, Ron Levin, Kendra Zaks, Leah Tirza Bat Avraham Vasara, Kaylee Armour, Benson Rakusin, Tony Raymond, Bill Gilbert, Susan Bold-Broaz,
Bruce Braz, Mary Ann Flatterly, Mark Mincelli, Ben Hackshaw, and Judy Goldstein. If you're joining us via live stream and you'd like to add a name, please add the name into our chat. If you're here in person, as I look around, please add whatever name you wish. We join together.
Mi shebeirach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Well, as we transition into our Purim spiel, we will begin by reading the Megillah. You'll notice this is a new Megillah for Temple. We actually received this from our friends at Bris Shalom as they are wrapping themselves up. They have donated a Megillah to us, amongst other things that will come. But we are thankful to them for their gift and generosity, and our ability to read from this sacred text on our holiday. It comes in it's actually a olive wood container, and it is written in the way a sacred letter would have been written in the ancient world, as a letter of dispatch, which means that you would have this in a sort of pouch, probably not quite as ornate, and you would deliver it as a letter in scroll form. And if you open up the Megillah, you will see that it is written much the same way a Torah is written, exactly the same way a Torah is written. So written by hand with all natural inks, and a scribe has to take their time writing this. If they don't have to worry about writing the name of God in this particular text, unlike the Torah. Why doesn't a scribe ever have to worry about writing the name of God in the Megillah? Because God's name is not actually in the text, which is one of the very unique parts of the Megillah of Esther, is that it is the only actual book of the Hebrew Bible that does not explicitly mention God. So that's one of the things that's unique. The other is that it's one of only two biblical texts actually named after a woman. So pretty exciting that we have that as part of two of our major holidays are all surrounding the texts of the two women's named books. One, we have, of course, Book of Esther for Purim, and then, does anybody know what the other one would be? The Book of Ruth. And when do we read the Book of Ruth? For Shavuot, exactly. So, very good. So, the blessing that we say is, there are three blessings. They're all familiar to you. The first one is the blessing for reading the actual Megillah. The second is the same blessing that we say as the second blessing for Hanukkah, thanking God for the miracles. And then the third one is Shehechianu. As we have the opportunity to read this for the first time this year, and maybe Jesse, you'll lead us in Shehechianu, and we can sing that together? Good. Okay. So, join me if you can. The blessing for reading ends with the words, Al Mikra Megillah, which means commands us to read the Megillah. So, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Kitshanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Al Mikra Megillah. And the second blessing, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Sha'asa Nisim La'avotenu Bayamim Hahem Bazman Hazeh. And we thank God for allowing us to all be here at this time, and especially to read from this Megillah for the very first time.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
So when Jesse and I were in Rochester, we had the opportunity to work with one of the rabbis there, and he was able to read the entire Megillah in under 40 minutes in Hebrew. I'm not sure anybody could understand a single word except for the very first and last, but it was blazingly fast. Yeah, I have never, still, I had never seen anything like that before or since. So, just to give us a sense of the Megillah, and then we will invite our Purim players forward to help us with our Purim spiel. So, Vayehi b'yamei Achashverosh. It was in the days of Achashverosh. Hu Achashverosh hamelech mehodu ve'ad Kush. This was the king Achashverosh who ruled from it's supposed to say, we think that it is basically from India to Africa. Sheva ve'esrim me'a medina, there was 7 and 20 hundred, so there were provinces, b'yamim hahem, and it was in those days, keshevet hamelech Achashverosh, that King Achashverosh sat al kisei malchuto, on his throne, asher b'Shushan habira, in the town of Shushan habira. And we'll invite our Purim players forward. You know who you are. Luba, you can stay right there. I'll bring the mic to you when it's your part. Shalom, Yeladim, and hear us well, for now is the story of Purim to tell. It took place in Shushan so long, long ago. Now off to Persia we will go. In this beautiful kingdom ruled a king with no brain. Who'd think such a thing? He spent all his days and his nights having fun, parading his wealth in the warm Persian sun.
A queen named Vashti was his loyal wife. She promised to love him all of her life. She promised, that is, until he did ask for her to perform an unthinkable task. At his grandest of parties, the king did command Queen Vashti dance for royal men of the land.
I am not your servant, and dance I will not. I hereby refuse the king's sexist plot. No woman should have to put up with you. She shouted as she quickly withdrew.
She shouted as she quickly withdrew, for Vashti, you see, was not known as a fibber. She was, in fact, history's first women's libber.
Vashti was banished. Away she did go. Where did she go? That we do not know.
In this fair kingdom lived also the Jews, who could not practice the religion they choosed. No Torah, no challah, no matzah ball soup, for a villain named Haman had started a coup.
Bow down to me now.
Cruel Haman did say,
For I am an important man of the day. I am the king's right-hand man. I rule all that I see. If you don't bow down now, you will cease to be. I alone can make Persia great again, you must see.
Meanwhile, back at the palace grand, an announcement went out throughout the land. A new queen to be chosen in an unusual way, in a beauty contest held the very next day.
all the maidens of the land were forced to appear, from near and from far and from near. One such maiden had brains and had grace. Esther was her name, such a pretty face. Encouraged by her uncle, or was it her cousin, Mordecai.
I beg you, dear Esther, this you must try. With your brains and your beauty, you he will choose. Go, 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 comb your hair, wear nice shoes. Besides that, my dear, with your grace and your charm, you will blow them away. You'll be King Akshash's arm.
I'm unsure of myself, but I'm willing to go because I love my uncle. So I'll enter the contest. But please, Mordecai, dear, promise me that you'll always stay near.
The contest was held, they came one and all, and Esther, of course, was the queen of the ball.
Though Achashverosh chose her, and she was now queen, there was one rotten rule she had not foreseen. Under penalty of death, she had to obey the following rule in an unbending way. Her new husband commanded she could only see him when he chose to see her, and on his whim.
So now, back to Haman, that cruel, crusty fellow. At the top of his lungs, he continued to bellow.
Bow down now, I command, or great harm will come to you in this land.
I, Mordecai, refuse to obey. I bow only to God on my last dying day.
Haman's face turned red with anger and hate.
I'll get you, my pretty, it's the last breath I take.
Mordecai turned his back, and other Jews did follow. As for Haman, well, his pride he had to swallow.
That Jew Mordecai has ruined my heinous plot. Because of this affront, I will have to draw lots. The straw that I pick, the one that comes nigh, it is the day that the Jews of Persia shall die.
Into his three-cornered hat he did cast all of the dates, the future, the past. The lot that he picked was the 13th of Adar.
Make ready the gallows. Adar is not far.
Right after Haman, heated pester, went Mordecai to seek Queen Esther. Stealthily listening at the palace gate, 2 guards were plotting to seal the king's fate. Bigthan and Teresh, the names of the guards. Hearing their plot was terribly hard. Morty heard them, their talk he'd broach. planning to kill King Ahasuerus.
Brave Morty protected his king and his land by revealing the plot in the palace grand. The king did not know, he glanced not a look, but Morty's deed was recorded in a grand official book. The king in his chamber that evening did read of Mordecai's loyalty in the book of good deeds. With the smallest of brains, the king thinked, and he thinked,
Who saved me from the green? Who? Is this man who followed the God's plan? I must reward him, send for Haman. Listen to you, Haman. I must pause. How should I honor a man who has been on his toes? Who has saved my kingdom through heroic deeds without a single thought to his own needs?
Well, this hero he is honoring must surely be me, for saving the kingdom from the Jews for the king.
Haman pompously swelled with excitement and greed. He knew the king, his words would heed.
I think, my dear king, no reward is too great. Give him diamonds and jewels and a house by the lake, fabulous clothing and all of the best. Let him ride the king's horse on your next birthday fest.
Make so, dear Haman, loyal kinsman. Bring for Mordecai the Jew, this is my command. Instruct all my tailors, my jewelers and gilders, to spare no shackles, no rubles, no gilders. Call all the king's forces and all the king's men to honor this Jew again and again.
Haman, astounded, speechless at best, felt his anger spread from his feet to his chest.
Could it be that this man who refused to bow down must now be honored all through the town?
Seizing the moment, the opportunity here, Mordecai to Esther did appear. Using his wits and oh so clever brain, Morty made history. Now Esther has fame.
You must risk your life and go to the king and tell him about this heinous thing. That Haman is planning, the Jews will all die. You must go, brave Esther, this you must try.
But cousin, or uncle, I am trembling with fear. Without his permission, I cannot go near. It could be my life, I am so afraid.
To that I reply, you can do this, babe. Use your brains and your charm and your prettiest skirt and your Shana
Punam.
and what could that hurt?
So Esther swallowed her fear and she calmed her nerves. She went after this task with vim and with verve.
At a party she threw the very same night, she walked into the banquet, trembling with fright. Although shocked to see her, the king did beckon.
I will see her. I will see her. It's fine. I will come.
Dear husband, I've gotten some news so horribly horrible that I did choose to come unsummoned to be by your side. You must listen to me. After all, I'm your bride.
Risking her life, Esther told him the story of Haman's dastardly plan, evil and hoary. Esther, still trembling, explained to her mate,
My lord, at the risk of sealing my fate, I must tell you something that to you may be news. Someone is planning to kill all the Jews. This includes Mordecai and all of his kin. In this category, you must put me in. For you see, I am Jewish, but so loyal to you. Please don't hurt my people. Please don't hurt the Jews. I fear, my dear husband, unless you act with your heart, I too will die on the 13th of Adar.
Thinking the thoughts a king sure would think.
My loyal wife deserves a name.
He called for his henchman, his number 2, to question again what should he do. In order to save his wife and her kin, Haman, of course, slunk right in. said Esther and sighed. She looked straight at Haman and summoned her pride.
You wicked, wicked man, how dare you pretend that you are loyal to my king to the end? You who did plot to destroy all the Jews also will kill me, whom the king did choose. For I too am Jewish, you hateful old coot.
Jordan, I'm the king. I give you the boot. I agree that the Jews have the right to defend, but your entire family will pay in the end. I sentence you now to the gallows with you. Not a single drop of Jewish blood shall be spilled. Pack up your belongings, but don't go far. On the gallows you will be swinging on the 13th of Adar.
The moral of the story, Yeladin, you know now, is to honor God and all people wherever you go, to stand up and speak out for all that is right, and to you, Chag Sameach, Laila Tov, and good night. Yasher Koach to all of our participants. That was great. Wonderful. So Purim is this time to retell the story in all sorts of different ways, and we have done that over the years in many different kinds of ways, and we're thrilled to do it again. And next year, this is a recruiting advertisement. Next year's plan is we have a My Fair Lady spiel ready to go. So we need musical talents, and we're going to put this together. So just you wait. We'll be Purim by the sea, or something. Okay. Good. Okay. Let's wrap up our service. We will continue with Aleinu on page 282. Please rise.
Do you want me to get these back? Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, lateit gidula leotze breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמו ושכינתו זו וגובה מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים עמו והארץ מתחת עינות ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד
Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We are in the period of Shloshim for Donald Higbee, and we are also in the period of Shloshim for Deborah Perry. We observe Yartzeit on this Shabbat for Mitzi Kernis, Anna Bash, Samuel Krieger, Julius Harf, Marion Levy, Francis H. Keim, Hans Horowitz, Mina Meyer-Levy, Celia Slater, Julie Harf, Alexander Morris, Alan Wolf, Amelia Levy, Elias Hassel, Flora Burstein Shapiro, Sigmund Fuchtwanger, Ella Sulzbacher, Saul Hirsch, Zachary Vigolota, Alice Schuster, and Isabel Sillen. If you are joining us via live stream and you would like to add a name, please add the name into our chat. If you are here in person and would like to add a name, please do so. We rise together as we turn to the words of Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echon uv'yom echon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'larmeh almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, shemei dekutsha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom
bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom.
Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Please be seated. I'd like to invite Ellie Tenenbaum forward to share some announcements.
Well, what a fun service that was. Thank you to Jesse and Rabbi Gomez for your services this week are in memory of Hans Horowitz and Fran Keim. Our evening this evening is going to be a lot of fun, and we hope you'll all partake in our special libations. Sunday, you can come back and bring your kids for the Purim Carnival at 11:30. Our games continue at Temple Hood, Mahjong, and Canasta. Check out the times for that. Rabbi has begun his course on Talmud. You can jump into that. We have a special night at Keller's this Thursday at 6:30, Taylor Mason's ventriloquist comedy show. Check that out. We have a celebration zone egg March 6th at Shabbat evening services. Member Shalom will host Shabbat morning services on March 14th at 10 a.m. with no services here. Gesher Shabbat is Friday, March 20th, and also time to get your second night Seder reservations in before March 12th, because you get early bird pricing. I hope everybody's staying, even if you didn't put a reservation in, stay anyways. Shabbat Shalom.
We want to thank Ellie, Pam, and Karen for putting together our magical Purim elixirs. We have a number of fun drinks to choose from, and of course, our delicious dinner. So, with that, we hope you picked up a sheet on the way in. Yeah?
They were inside of the service sheets. Did everybody get one?
Excellent, okay.
Okay. So you'll probably recognize the tune, so just start to sing along because now you have the words. Esther's Day is when Jewish folks will have their say, and cruel Haman will just go away. Oh, we believe in Esther's Day. Mordecai says that we don't really have to die. Now that's just a lot of chazerai. So have the king tell Haman by why we're hated so we don't know, and who can say? Esther, help us now when our skies are dark and gray. Esther's Day is when Haman will be sent away, or forever we will say, oy vey. Oh, we believe in Esther's Day.
We join together in Kiddush, page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh. Zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
Chaim.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Chag Purim Sameach and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.